I just hit
They having
record.
the.
Mhm.
All right, go ahead.
So I'll type it in the chat as well. So
I don't. I don't save the chat. Just for her to read the. You know what I mean?
yeah, but so you can understand it. 3.1a, it says 3 to 17 odd. That means 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and 17.
All
Then,
right.
then 23, 24, 25, and 26.
Yes.
Then it says 27 to 79 every other odd. So that means 27, 31, because you skip 29 and you do 31. You skip 33
Yeah.
and do 35, 39,
Yeah.
43,
Yes.
47,
Yes.
51, 55, 59, 63, 60, let's see, 63, 67, sorry, 71, 74, 75, and 79. Now for 3.1b, oh, and then I forgot 81 and 83 for 3.1a. 3.1a also 81 and 83.
Yes.
Okay. 3.2 is examples 1 through 5. That's pretty explanatory. So that means 3.2b or 3.1b is examples, and you're doing the first 5. So you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what that means. Okay. Any other questions about the instructions, Luis?
Nothing else. But let's go to the homework. Let me open the homework now.
Okay.
I think I thought I had it open. Where's my?
Okay.
Are you able to do whiteboard function on this?
No, I can't do
Notepad?
whiteboard on my Chromebook. What I can do is I will write it out and I will cam scanner it and email you, Luis. Or I can take a picture and send it to your phone. But I can't do. I can put it on Google Docs, but I can't do a whiteboard function on my Chromebook.
Darn. If I
If you what?
if you can explain to my mom how we can so she can and me as well how to do the ones we're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll set it up for you. That's not a problem. So the first section where it says 1 through 10. The first section, you're going to identify each as a proper fraction, an improper fraction, a mixed number, or a complex fraction. So I'm going to give you some definitions first.
I need you to simplify it for Mom if she can't understand some of the instructions. Math.
Oh, I understand. I'm going to explain, Luis. But I have to give you definitions because these are based on definitions. So a proper fraction means that the top number we call that the numerator. Okay.
Yeah.
The numerator should be a smaller number is smaller than the bottom number, called the denominator. That's what a proper fraction is. Okay? A proper fraction. What?
I wish we could be on campus that I can print it and you can help me write it up. You can write one, then we can do the rest at home without your help.
Yeah, I told you. I can write it out for you and send you a picture of it. I'll send it to your email.
All right.
And you're also going to get a copy of the chat transcript where I'm putting the definition. So you should be fine. You're going to get a copy of the chat transcript. You're going to get a copy of the recording. And you're going to get a copy of my notes. So
all right.
Now, look at the first fraction. Look at number 3 there. Okay?
Yes.
What's the top number?
7.
What's the bottom number?
3.
Is the top bigger or smaller than the bottom?
Bigger.
Okay, so if the top is bigger, we don't have a proper fraction. We have what we call an improper fraction. The second word there, you see it? It says improper. So an improper fraction is one where the top number is bigger than the bottom. Okay? Is bigger than the bottom number. So number 3 is, are you there, Luis?
Yeah, I just mute you so I don't get a habit of talking in the middle of your lecture. Mom doesn't wonder why I'm talking so much.
You can ask questions. So an improper fraction is one where the top number is bigger than the bottom number. For example, number 3 says 7/3. 7/3. 7/3 is improper. So 7/3 is improper because 7 is bigger than 3. Okay? Now look at number, I know you don't have to do it, but look at number 4. What kind of fraction is number 4? Number 4
is proper.
Is proper, that's right. Number 4 is 7/15. And 7/15 is a proper fraction because 7 is smaller than 15. Okay? How about number 9?
Number 9, it's proper because it's bigger, the top one.
If the top is bigger, it's improper. It's
Oh,
improper. Think of improper as like the fractions top heavy, so it's going to fall over. Right?
all right.
Now we have a couple of other things that we have to look at, okay? A mixed number is a whole number with a fractional part. So what do you see on that page that has a whole number and a fraction? What do you see?
It's number 10 or number 7?
Not number 10, but that was a good guess. It's actually number 7. Number 7 is a mixed number because it has a whole number and a fraction. Number 10 is what we call, so number 7 is 7 and 3/4 is a mixed number because it has 7 and it has 3/4, right? Now, here's the other thing. When you have a fraction on top of another fraction, it doesn't matter if they're improper or proper. When you have a fraction on top of another fraction, we call that a complex fraction. Complex fraction. So number 10 is an example of a complex fraction. Okay? Can you find me another example of a complex fraction? There's one more in those first 10.
8.
Number 8. Okay.
Not number 8. Number 5. Sorry, I was
number 5.
Numbers.
Number 5, right. Number 8 is actually a proper fraction because they're the same. They're equal. Number 5 is your complex fraction. Yes. So number 5 is another example of a complex fraction.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's go to the next part. Can you scroll up your PDF? Locate each. Okay, so it says locate each fraction on the number line. So what they want you to do here is they've given you a number line from 0 to 1. Okay. They want you to mark 3/4. So for numbers 11 through 14, you need to mark the number line. You need to mark the number line. And so the bottom number, the denominator, tells you how many pieces to mark. Okay? So you're going to mark,
yes.
You're going to mark 4 pieces. Actually, you're going to make 3 marks because you want 4 divisions, right? And each of those is equally spaced. So 3/4 is going to be 3 marks over on the number line. So what I would suggest is that you mark the number line with the same number of divisions as the bottom of the fraction. And then you make a dot at the appropriate location, okay? And you're going to do this for the next set as well. The difference there is that you're going to have a whole number. So to mark 3/4, you're going to make 3 marks on the number line. Start with cutting it in half. So cut the number line in half, make a mark halfway between 0 and 1. Then make each of those into halves. So between that, make a mark halfway between 0 and the first mark that you made, and between the middle and 1. And the 3/4 will be the third mark. So I'm going to write that out for you. So this is mark 3/4 on the number line. So you want to make a line or trace the line you have in your book. And you want to...
This is your copies that he sent.
Are you printing them out?
Yep.
Well, if you print them out, then you'll be able to use the markings, I mean the lines that he provided, or the textbook provided. So that's 3/4. Now the next part of this, 15 through, can you scroll up, Louise? Yeah. 15 to 18. Locate each mixed number on the number line. So let me do number 15. 15 says 2 and 5/6. Now, you're going to have to estimate this. You're not going to be able to do this perfectly, but you reproduce the numbers. So they have the numbers 0 to 4. Actually, this is 16. This is 16, for example. 2 and 5/6. So you're going to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, 2 and 5/6 is going to be between what two numbers? Where would I find 2 and 5/6?
2.
Look at number 16. Look at 16. 15 should be fairly easy. So I left 15 for you. But 16, what two numbers should I be looking at? It's 2 and 5/6. So what should I do?
5 and 6 you should look at first.
Okay, but where am I gonna, if I'm looking at my dot, right? I need to look at the whole number.
It goes right on number 2.
Right. So I know I have 2, so I'm going to go to 2, and my dot's going to be somewhere between 2 and 3, right? Because it's 2 and 5/6 more. So 5/6 is going to be really close to 3 units. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make marks and I'm going to split it into 6 little parts. And that's going to give me 5/6. This dot here, I'm writing it out so you'll be able to see it. I made 6 little marks and I put a dot where 2 and 5/6 go. That's what you're going to do with that. Now for 19 to, can you write each of these fractions as the product of a whole number and a unit fraction? Also name the result. Okay. And no, scroll back up to the, I need the other column of that page. Okay, whole number and a unit fraction. So let's do, for example, let's do 21. Okay, we're going to write each number as, write each fraction as the product of a whole number and a unit fraction. So a unit fraction, by the way, means that it's equal to 1. So let me put that in the chat. A unit fraction means a fraction equal to 1, such as 8/8, or 3/3. Those are unit fractions, okay? So in the numbers, the next group, let's do, for example, let's do number 21. Okay, we're gonna write 3/8 as the multiplication of a whole number and a unit fraction. So this actually is easier than it sounds, because what you're going to do is this. You're going to say, well, 3/8 is equal to, we're going to use a whole number, and for the whole number, we're going to use the top, okay? So we're going to say 3, that's a whole number, times, and then it says a unit fraction. So we want to use, we want to use 3/8. So we have this is going to be, this is hold on, let me check something before I'm going to look up something really quick and make sure I'm correct, because I don't want to give you the wrong information. So let me see.
Can you pause the recording for a second while you do that, so it doesn't go?
So write 3/8 as the multiplication of a whole number and a unit fraction. So that means you're going to write
Hello?
I'm here, Luis. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were breaking up for a second with your collection. It wasn't mine.
No worries. So 3/8 is 3 times 1 over 8. So you're going to use the numerator as your number, and then you're going to use a unit fraction equal to 1 over what the denominator is. That's what that means. So that's the shortcut to that particular part of the situation. That's how the shortcut works. So, as we said,
Hello? Hello? Hello?
hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was about to call you on your phone. I was going to transfer you, say, I was about to put you on hold on this one so I could call you and say, hey, your thing went dead.
No, so I was asking you about number
I don't
23.
know what I don't know what happened with your thingy.
Okay, well, number
It was
20,
breaking up.
number 23, write each of these as a single fraction. How would I do number 23? What do you think I would do there?
23. Let me close that window, that stupid chat window. Three. Yeah. Do number 4 first. Then you do the fraction.
Right, so how would I do it? When you say I do the 4 and I do the fraction, what does that mean?
Lost here with fractions.
Okay, do you have a single fraction in 23 or not?
Yeah, with the 5, 1.5, 1.5.
4 and a fifth, okay. But it's not a single fraction. Technically that's two fractions because 23 is really this. 23 is really 4 over 1 times 1 over 5. That's really what that means, is 4 over 1 times 1 over 5. So that's not a single fraction. The way you write those kinds of problems as a single fraction is, here's what I'm going to have you do. You're going to take, to write it as a single fraction, you're going to do this. To write as a single fraction, you're going to multiply the denominator, the bottom, multiply the bottom of the fraction by the whole number. The whole number here is 4, okay? You're going to multiply the bottom of the fraction by the whole number. And then you're going to add, the numerator, the top. And once you do that, you write the result over the denominator. So let me explain that more. So what we have here is we have 4 times 1/5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 5 times 4, and I'm going to add 1 to it. That gives me 21. And I'm going to write that 21, then write 21 over 5 as my result. And that's called, which is an improper fraction. So basically, we're writing these as improper fractions. That's what they're asking you to do, okay?
All right.
So let's try 24 together. So we're going to do 9 times 5, which is what?
45.
Good. Now add 1.
46.
And then write that result over 9. So you have, for the next one, number 24. 24 is 5 times 1/9. That's equal to 9 times 5 plus 1, which is 46. And then you write 46 over 9 as the result. Okay?
All right.
Now in 27, can you scroll down? Okay, in 27 to 46, you're going to go, this is an extension of what you were doing in the last problem set. This is exactly the same, except it's written different. It doesn't have a, this is the instructions for the other part. So you get 9 times 1 plus 4. Okay? So what is your answer for 27, Louise?
So 1 times 9 is 9.
Yes. And
Plus
9.
4. 9 plus
Uh-huh.
9 plus 4
Right.
be 13.
13. And that's 13 over 9, right?
Yes.
How about, let's do 31. What do you think that is?
3 times 3.
Okay, which is?
36.
No.
12, I mean.
3 times
12.
3 is 9.
9?
3 times 3 is 9, Luis.
Yeah.
3
Plus
times
1
3
is 10.
is, uh-huh, so what's my answer?
10 over 4.
10 over 3. The bottom doesn't change. The bottom doesn't change, okay?
Basically, you're adding a 0 and removing the 3, basically.
How about do 35?
5 times 4.
Okay,
20.
then?
20 over 4.
Uh-huh. Almost. What did you forget to do?
21.
21
Oh, yeah, that
over
1.
21 over 4. Try 36. Try 36.
5 times 2 is 10.
Do the multiply the bottom, Luis. So you have 5 and 2 over 7, right? Multiply 7 by 5 and you get?
Multiply 7 times 5, you're saying?
Right. Uh-huh. You get what?
I'm trying to think about it.
Take your time. Seven times 5 is what?
I can't think of it in my head.
Okay, let's count by 5s. 5, then 10. 5 times 3 is 15. Keep going.
How is that to 20?
That's 5 times 4. Keep going. 20 plus 5 is?
25.
That's 5 times 5. 5 times 6 is?
5 times 6 is
25 plus 5 is what?
25.
No, 25 plus 5 more?
30.
30. That 5 times 6 is 30. And add 5 more.
35.
So 5 times 7 is what?
35.
35. 5 times 7 is 35. How many are we going to add?
30.
You're looking at question 36. So 5 and 2 over 7. So 7 times 5 was 35, and we add how many?
More.
I'm
37.
sorry. No. You multiply the denominator, which is 7, by the whole number, which is 5. That gives you 35.
35 plus 2? 36, 37. 37, I said.
37 over 7.
Over, yep.
Over 7. Try one more. Try number 41. 9 and 3/4.
9 times 4.
Okay, how much is that?
36.
Okay. 9 times 4 is 36, and then I do what?
Add 3 more.
And 36 plus 3 is?
39.
So your final answer is?
39 over 4.
Perfect. That's right. So when you're writing it as a mixed number to an improper fraction, that's how you do it. Okay?
Yes.
The next group, down below that, we're going to be doing...
What number we have to go to, because I want to do extra if I don't have to go do... I want to do only the ones I have to do.
You have to go... We're going all the way to the end, to 20... Remember, it's 24 to 26, and then you're doing 27 to 83 every other odd.
Yes.
So I'm giving you examples of the ones that
I just wanted one number, one problem of the whole 6 of that whole group, so my mom can basically get it. 9.
Yeah, but I want you to practice, Luis.
Yes.
I'm putting it in the chat, I'm writing it out, but you have to be the one to do it. These problems are not time consuming, and you don't need to write a lot of stuff down, but I need to be able to explain to you how the process works.
Yes.
And I have a lot of the answers, which I'm going to provide you, like I said, with a transcript of the chat. I have a lot of answers in the chat. So there's a lot of answers to a lot of the questions in the chat, and I'll be sending you notes on some of the ones, not all of them, but the ones that require you to actually write something out. I will write out for you and send you PDF of it. Now, like I said, we were writing it as an improper fraction. So we went over that. That's what we just went over. So we have 27. We did 1 and 4/9. So we're going to do, this is equal to 9 times 1 plus 4 over 9, which is 9 plus 4 over 9, 13 over 9. That's your improper. Now we're going to go the other way for the next group. Okay? We're going to go the other way for the next group. So this time, in 47 to whatever the next group is, we're going to write your answers to that. So what we have to do there is we have to divide. So we're going to write each fraction from 47 to 62. We're going to divide it out. So we're going to write each fraction as a mixed number. Okay? So what we're going to do is this. We're going to say we have 11, 47 is 11 over 5. This means 11 divided by 5. So if you take 11 and you divide it by 5, how many groups of 5 can I make from 11, Luis?
25.
If I had
11 times 5.
no, I didn't ask you to multiply. I asked you to divide it. So if I had 11 pieces of candy and you had 5 friends, how many would each person get?
2.2.
Okay, so they would each get 2, right? And would you have any left over?
Just 1 for me. 2 for me.
You would have 1 left. So that's how you do it. You say that the mixed number is 2, because that's how many each person gets. And then the way you find the fraction is you take the remaining and you write it over whatever the denominator is. So this would be 2 and 1/5. Okay?
All right.
Let's do one more. Let's do number 51. 24 over 7. This time you have 24 pieces of candy, but you have 7 friends.
Yes.
How many pieces of candy does each person get?
Which one we're working on?
51.
24 over 7.
24 over 7, uh-huh.
So you divide 24 divided by 7?
Right. How much is that?
Can you wait 1 second?
Yeah.
Ooh, 3 point, the bunch of numbers.
Okay, well, don't worry about the bunch of numbers. 3 is how many each person gets, right? Now,
Yes.
if each person gets 3 candies, that's only 21 candies that you've distributed so far, right? 3 times 7 is 21. How many candies are left for you?
3.
3. So your fraction is 3 over 7. So it's 3 and 3 over 7. That's what you're going to do till you get to number 62. That's how you do all those problems all the way to 62. Then, can you scroll up? so we can see the last group.
1 second.
Okay, so from 63 and on, 63 to 74, from 63 to 74, we're going to multiply them out, just like it says. So your calculator is going to get a workout. It says write any improper fraction as a mixed number. So for 63,
And my fingers are gonna work out too, punching in the numbers.
all right, so we're going to multiply, and we're going to write our write improper fractions as mixed. So to multiply fractions, you're going to multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. So
Yes.
for number 63, we have
Yes.
8/9
Yes.
times 1/5.
Yes.
Okay? So multiply 8 by 1 is what?
Which one?
63.
8 times 9?
No, you're multiplying straight across. So
8 times 1?
you're
8.
multiplying the tops by it themselves and the bottoms. 8 times 1 is 8, yes. And what is 9 times 5?
45.
Right. And we stop because the top is smaller. Okay? If the top were bigger than the bottom, we would continue. Look at number look at number 60, no. Look at number 71, for example. Look at 71. 71 says 7/3 times 1/2. So you multiply 7 by 1 and you get what?
7.
And you multiply 3 by 2 and you get?
6.
Now this is 7/6. 7/6, the top is bigger than the bottom. So you're going to do what you did in the last section. You have 7 candies. You have 6 friends. So
Where
how
did you get a 6?
3 times 2,
Oh.
right? Now, we're going to change that into an improper fraction. So we're going to divide 7 by 6. When you divide 7 by 6, what do you get?
7 divided by 6?
Yes, what do you get?
Wait 1 second. 7 divided by 6 is 1 point in which numbers?
Okay, so it's 1, right? That means each person got 1. How many is left for you?
1.
1. So that means that you have 1 and 1/6, and that's how you would write the final answer. So 7/6 would equal 1 and 1/6, and that's what you're going to write as your answer. Okay? That's how you do to get to 74. Now, when you get to 75 to 80, You're going to do exactly the same thing, only you have 3 numbers instead of 2. And it says, do not write improper fractions as mixed. So after you multiply here, you get to stop. Okay? So all you're doing in 75 to 80 is multiplying straight across. So 75 is 2. Here you're going to multiply.
Straight across, I get the idea. I don't need to do that one. That's easy. That's a piece of cake.
Okay? And then I think you have to do 81 and 83. So scroll up and I can show you that. Okay, now it says multiply these by writing each of them as improper and then write the result as mixed or a whole number. Now that's a little different. That puts together the skills that you've used in the section. Okay? So
All right.
we're gonna do this together here. I'm gonna write it and put it in your notes. So this is number 81. It says 3 1/3 times 2 2/3. Okay?
Yes.
So we're gonna do what we did back on number we're gonna do what we did back on the 27 group, the group that started with 27, where you multiply by the denominator and you add the numerator.
Yes.
I'm going to do that to both of the fractions. So when I multiply with 3 1/3, I take the 3 that's at the bottom,
Yes.
I multiply it by the whole number, which is also 3, and I add the top, which is 1. And I write it over 3. And then I'm going to multiply, I'm going to do the same thing with 2 2/3. So I have 3 times 2
Yes.
plus 2 over
Yes.
3. So I end up with 9 plus 1 over 3 times
Yes.
6 plus 2 over 3. This gives me 10 over 3 times 8 over 3. And then I'm going to do what I did in the last section and multiply it together. 10 times 8 is 80. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, here I don't get to stop. I have to divide it. So I'm going to do, just because they told me that I have to divide it. So 80 divided by 9 is what?
80 divided by 9? Is 8 point bunch of numbers.
Okay, so 8 is the whole number, right? Now that means that I've distributed 72 because 8 times 9 is 72. I've distributed 72 candies, and that means there are 8 left for me. So I have 8 and 8 over 9.
Yes.
That's where I stop. Okay? So 81, 82, we did 81, 82 and 83 are similar.
Yes.
And that's your homework, Luis.
Yes.
Okay?
Let's jump to the next worksheet.
Okay.
How long do you have time?
I'll give you till 2 o'clock because it's 1:38, so that's another 20 minutes. Okay?
Because I was thinking of calling my mom and having her join the Zoom in case she so she can ask you questions if she can't
Well,
understand
you can
something.
always just if she has questions, have her call me. You have my number. Have her call me.
Yeah. Yeah, but then she can see the worksheet with me, with all three of us, and she can say, hey, which one she can't understand. You can explain to her her way.
Whatever you like.
All right, let's finish with me first, then I can get the hang of it. For me, for my notes.
Okay, write a fraction for the shaded portion and a fraction for the unshaded portion of the figure. What you have to do here is a little tedious. You have to count. Do you see that you have a big triangle?
Yeah.
And do you see that there's a lot of little triangles inside? Do you see the little triangles inside?
Yeah. Yes.
You have to count all of those little triangles. So on the
Yeah.
bottom, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles. And then the next row has 5 triangles. And the next row has 4 triangles. You see it?
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to count all the triangles. And that's going to be your denominator. Okay? That's going to be the bottom part. And you're going to count the shaded ones, the pink ones. And that's going to be the top for the shaded portion. So it just becomes a counting exercise, basically. So
that's easy.
you count. So how many shaded portions do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I see 13.
That's easy. The number one is easy.
Okay.
Number two is the one that looks complicated.
Write an improper fraction to represent the length of the screw. Okay, basically, if I told you, you have a ruler under the nail there, don't you?
Or the screw.
Yeah, you have a fraction under that, a ruler under it, right?
Yes.
Now, the only tricky part to this is how many little marks are there between 1 and 2? How many little marks do you see there?
4.
Well, those are the major marks, but do you see the tiny little markings? So we have one tiny little mark, one longer mark. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 markings between 1 and 2. Can you see that?
Yeah.
You can see that. Okay. So now, is the screw longer or smaller than 1 unit?
Longer.
Longer. Now, what I want you to do is count how many marks longer it is than 1. So it's 1 and how many marks?
1 in every line, every single line. 3.
At 1 and 3 marks. That's right. It's 1 and 3 lines. And now, how many lines did you count? Do you remember?
8.
You counted 8. So we say that that measure is 1 and 3/8, or 1 and 3/8. That's
1 and 3/8.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That's 1 and 3/8, and it doesn't give us units, probably inches, but we can't really tell. But you would write 1 and 3/8 for that answer.
All right, 1 and 3/8.
1 and 3/8. Okay. So
the same thing for 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except in that picture, there's more than 8 marks. There are 16 marks.
Yes.
So it's 1 and how many marks? How many marks past the 1?
That's one. 1, 2, 2, 3,
Uh-huh.
4,
Right.
5, 6.
Right.
6
Good.
marks.
So that would be 1 and
6.
6/16. 1
Yes.
and 6 over 16.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I understand the question. What he wants me to do?
Well, basically, you're reading a ruler, Luis. They're teaching you how to read a ruler with inch markings.
Oh, that's easy.
That's what they're asking you to do. But
That's easy.
some of the rulers have more markings than others. That's all.
That's easy. That's easy. Number example 4.
Okay.
What
Right.
I have to do with?
Okay, so you have to count. Look at number 5. Look at the picture
Yeah.
of the rectangle, the big rectangle,
Yeah.
right? How many pieces are in it? How many segments do you have?
4.
How many are,
4.
oh, good. 4 are shaded. 4 there. How many are shaded?
3.
Right. So if you want to find the shaded portion, you say 3 out of 4, or
3
3,
out of 4.
or 3/4.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at number 6. How
So I have to
many?
write the fraction. So I have to
Yeah,
write the fraction for all.
you write the fraction for each one. So number 5 would be 3/4.
That makes sense.
Number 6. What do you think number 6 would be?
3, 1.
You're
2,
okay. That would be if it was the white part, but you're doing the blue parts. How many blue parts do you have?
1.
How many on number 6? Number 6. How many blue
2
parts
blue.
do you have?
2.
And how many total?
3.
So what I need you to do is put the blue parts over the total. So
3.
what I'm saying is this, okay? So for number 5 on the worksheet,
Yes.
we have 4 parts total and 3 blue shaded portions,
Yes.
right?
3. Yeah. Yeah.
So to make your fraction, the fraction is always done the same way. The fraction is the number of shaded parts
Yes.
over
Over.
the total number of parts.
Yes.
So that would, for number 5, that would be 3 out of 4, right?
4. Yes.
For number 6 on the worksheet, we would have
Yes.
2 shaded over 3 total,
Yes.
which would be 2/3.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Look at number 7. How many total parts do you have?
Total. 6.
6 parts. How many are shaded?
5.
Okay, so 5 shaded out of 6 total.
6.
So you get 5/6 as your fraction.
Yes.
You see it?
Yes.
The shaded.
I get the idea. Yeah, now I get the idea.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, that's how that works. And that's all you have to do.
Let me see if it the 5 is complicated. I have to do the same thing for 5.
Pretty much, except here, you have, now look at 29. See 29?
Yes.
How many boxes do you have? How many?
They're equal. It's 4
Huh?
out of 4. 4 out of 4. That's easy.
Almost. Almost. Remember, you're looking at 2 big squares, aren't you?
Yeah.
See that you have 2 big squares? So I agree with you. I agree with you that 29 is 4 out of 4. I agree. Okay? But what about this other square over here? That's 3
It
out
has,
of 4, isn't it?
yes.
You see that? You have to include that too, right?
So
So
it's 2
it would be,
squares.
it would, well, what we would do, okay, there's an easy way and a hard way to do this. You're trying to do it the hard way right now, okay? Anytime that the entire figure, the square, the circle, the rectangle, whatever it is, anytime that's shaded, that counts as 1. Okay?
Yes.
So 29, you count the completely shaded square as 1 whole. And you focus on the other square. Now, how many are shaded in the other square?
3.
3. And how many total? 4, right? So you write 29 as,
1
as 1 and 3/4. 29 is going to be 1 whole number, 1 whole, and 3/4. Okay? Let's do number 30. What are you going to write for number 30?
1.
Uh-huh. And how many?
1 whole. 1
And?
whole and 2/3.
2/3. Very good. Now, what would you do with number 32?
2 wholes.
Right. That would just be 2. Right?
2 wholes and 1/3.
2 wholes and a third. So the answer to 32 would be 2, not a third, be careful, 2 and 1/4. Why a fourth? Because each of those are separated into 4 parts. You see it?
Yes.
Be careful there, not a third, but a fourth, okay?
Yes.
Does that help?
That helps.
All right, then. Cool.
So that's number 5, and then I'm done basically. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
You can
We will.
stop the recording or pause it in case